You might be like me on this one, but why are people so surprised that we are in the political climate that we are in? Why are people surprised that both Trump, Biden, no one wants them? No one wants these people to be president. And yet they will, one of them, most likely, I don't want to reinforce that narrative, but I do have eyes and ears. Most likely one of them will be president. And I can safely say that because it's not like we're doing any fucking thing about it. It's not like the American people are actually taking some type of action. So when they make some decision that is short-sighted or single-minded or ineffective, why would we expect for them to have some great understanding about all of the interwoven, interconnected systems that make up our complicated country and our complicated world? You can ask an economist, like a notable economist, and they will tell you that there's not one person that understands the entire economy. You know what I mean? And so it's like, why do we think that a person that is so far removed from the economy, that is so far removed from military service, that is so far removed from so many things, that they would make good decisions about all of these things? Do you know why I kind of blame us, the American people, for this? And not kind of, but I just do, because that's where the power really lies. It lies with the American people, not with these jokers. But to become president, you only really need three things. You need a bunch of money. You need name recognition, which is essentially popularity. Because when you watch debates, most of the time people aren't even paying attention. Sometimes people don't take any points away from it. If you ask them, what was their biggest takeaway, it'll probably be some jab that one person gave another person. And that's how we decide that. So money, popularity, and you have to be a naturally born citizen, American, over 34. And that's it. That's it. That is it. They don't have to have good ideas. They don't have to live up to what they promised to you before. They don't even have to campaign in your state. There's no rigorous training that they have to undergo. They can skip some of the debates if they want to. It's just a joke. Why are we so surprised by any of this? And it just goes down the chain. It's not just the presidency. It's our members of Congress, and it's the Supreme Court. And, why do we think that if we just take away all of the qualifications that might make someone good for this position, and we don't administer any real type of training? Because I would imagine that the president would have to be, if they didn't have any prior experience in a bunch of different areas, then they would have to go through some rigorous training each and every day. And that's why you just wouldn't even see them most of the time. But before that, if anybody wants to become president, if you're leaving high school and you want to become president, there should be a path. And I know that people wouldn't be able to agree on like a test or something like that. So here's what I propose. I propose, just like what companies do when they get like an intern in and they rotate them around different departments, let a person work in different areas throughout their entire career. So rather than necessarily being a career politician, they work in different sectors of our government, of our, what's the word? The private sector. That's what I'm looking for. Just the hard jobs that people don't want to do. And then the very, large jobs that impact a bunch of people. And quite frankly, their progress should be public. And then once they've reached that ripe old age of 35, then they can try and be president. But then they would have something under their belt. Trump doesn't have anything under his belt. Mostly a gut over his belt. But I shouldn't go there. I shouldn't say things like that. I'm trying to stay away from things. It's hard. But he's a failed businessman. He's a con man. I'm not going to say a bunch of other words because if censorship hits this, I don't know who's doing what these days. And I'm just trying to avoid all of those words. But you know what he's done. And then Biden, look, he is a career politician. This dude's been doing this forever. And our system is the exact way that it is. So why would we expect these people to do better? We can't expect them to do better until we do better.